to this episode of the Influencer Talks. Today on the show, we have Rakhee Gakher as our guest. Rakhee has been a marketing wizard and at working as a senior management level for more than 15 years with the various national and international cosmetic brands. Recently, Rakhee has launched her own brand of cosmetics called Jstor, from the Jstor House of Cosmetics and more. So let's talk to Rakhee directly about why she launched another brand, what are her plans to take it forward, and about herself also. So welcome to the show, Rakhee.
Thank you, Atulji.
Rakhee, to start with, can you just let us know a little bit about your education and how you...
I'm a science graduate and my major was biology. And then I did my management course, and in internship, I did two internships. One was with Unilever, which was Hindustan Liver at that time.
Right.
And the project was Dove soap. And then second was with Dabur, and they had a brand called Samara Cosmetics. So, and after that, I practiced a bit of this in Avon products. It's another cosmetic brand, and they are into direct marketing instead of retail. So recently they have come in retail. So these are the three experiences I had when it comes to my education.
All right. And when did you plan and how did you plan to join the cosmetic company? How did you develop this kind of your love for the cosmetics?
I think to some extent, it comes very naturally being a woman.
Yep.
And actually, I didn't know that I have passion for cosmetics, to be very honest with you. And I loved when I was working with Samara Cosmetics and Dove in my internship days.
Right.
And I really wanted to join them. So then I was in Bombay, and then I shifted to Delhi. And miraculously, I got a chance with Modi Group.
Mm-hmm.
And you must have heard the name Color Bar. They are into color cosmetics and skincare. So I was there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And after leaving them for last around 2 years, I have taken various projects with Indian and international brands.
Right.
So that's where I am at the moment.
So after 15 or 17 years of corporate
around 17
life,
years.
Around 17 years of corporate life, how did you get an idea to get into business and launching your own brand?
Atulji, actually, along with the passion of cosmetics, learning cosmetics, I was also passionate about using it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to buy lots of cosmetics and I used to use it. And as I learned about cosmetics, I realized that they're not the cosmetic we used to use in our student life. Slowly and steadily, cosmetics are full of harmful chemicals, synthetics, and since we expect quicker and faster results, and we're not ready to wait, so we go for synthetic cosmetics. And then we started having problems which we never had in our lives related to our skin and hair care. So I actually thought that I will launch my own brand, which would be truly Indian with all the Indian ingredients. But I wanted to launch it little later in my life. But I started working on the brand in 2018. And
Okay.
I even registered the trademark called Jstor, and I got my certificate of trademark in 2019. And we, on the weekends, I used to go and meet manufacturers, and I used to take leave from my office and say I'm going for vacations, but I used to go and meet scientists, chemists, doctors, go to their labs, work, learn. And then COVID happens. So I saw many deaths, in the COVID. So I really wanted to chase my dream. And the people who were ready to partner with me. So we bought an office in Gurgaon.
Mm-hmm.
And a stage came where I left my job and I wanted to chase this dream because I felt, what if I die without chasing my dream? And that's how it happened earlier than what we had the plans for.
Right. Rakhee, if I say you are a late entrant in 2018. Late in the sense, not in your life, but there are a lot of
Yes,
brands around, and
yes.
they're doing well. They're promoting well. So why do you think that your brand stands different from them?
First and foremost, I would say that it's a truly Indian brand, and our vision and goal is, I think, entirely different from the brands which are existing at the moment in the market. And of course, they are doing well. For example, we have decided that our brand will be truly Indian, sourced and manufactured in India, and we will source skin-friendly Indian ingredients. For example, lot many formulas we have picked from our ancient India granths and samhitas.
Mhm.
So, and also there's a craftsmanship and skill existing in India, and there's a lot of people, labor, I mean,
Mhm.
they have this skill, excellent skill. I mean, if you look at them, you will be proud of them, and you will not believe the kind of skill they have. And they are in the interiors of India and in rural areas, also in metros also. They are surviving on this skill. So this skill is dying basically because of bigger brands and the machinery made products.
Right.
So we would like to protect this skill as much as we can. And we would also like to promote handmade cosmetics, which is again our part of our rich culture and heritage of India. And as I said, that we would like to use everything Indian about it, Indian packaging, Indian ingredients, and sourced and manufactured in India by Indians, and we would like to protect the craftsmanship as well as the rich culture we have and the heritage when it comes to cosmetics. So that's how we are different. Now, coming to the next point where we are different is like existing brands either have very high MRP if they
Right.
are giving good products, which is chemical free, like our products are harmful chemical free with skin friendly ingredients. So there are brands which are giving good products and they are domestic players, but they are at a very high MRP, which normally masses cannot afford. Or there are brands which are at a very low MRP. So it means they won't be able to afford some ingredients in that MRP. So we decided to launch a brand for masses at a very affordable MRP, which is value for money. So they can get quality product with good grade ingredients at that MRP. So that's how I would say that we are different. Third, we are different because we are not into any kind of race. We have decided that we'll go step by step. We will not get into any race. And our vision is a little difficult one because people who have been selling cosmetics in a particular manner, for example, our suppliers of ingredients or the manufacturers, they are taking time to understand what we're trying to do. They feel that it's a funda that we go to them and hum banenge or Indian hi karenge. So after listening to the whole story, they would say, "Ma'am, ये हांगकांग का है, ये ले लो, ये पैकेजिंग चाइना की है,
Uh-huh.
से होगा," all those kind of things. So, we just, at the end of the day, we have to tell them that what we are saying, we mean it. So that's the third reason that we are not entering into any race and we'll go step by step. And that's how we are different than the other ones.
Okay. You just said that you have the 100% Indian ingredients, and your products are kind of completely manufactured by hand. So where do you have your manufacturing units? And there is no machinery at all used for the product manufacturing?
Okay. Thank you for this question. Actually, I wanted to answer it myself. Most of our products are handmade products, of course, and our preference is handmade. For example, as I said that, there are people who are having these formulas which are taken from our ancient Purans and Granths, and they're making excellent cosmetics. They're mostly in the interiors of the India. So we have our manufacturers in Punjab and in Delhi too.
Right.
So most of our products are handmade. 4 of our products are made from the small machinery. So we are also thinking that we will support manufacturers who are passionate about cosmetics, know a lot about cosmetics, but they are struggling because of their small machinery, which is not, I would say that they're lost in today's market, which is crowded with so many brands, with heavy machinery made products. So 4 of our products we have got made from a small machinery manufacturer, which have come out very well. So we are not going with very big machineries because that's not our vision and goal. So most of the products, yes, are handmade.
But that creates another challenge for you. That is monitoring the quality. So how do you manage that?
See, on the contrary, I would say that when it comes to supervision, it's flawless. And because these are handmade cosmetics and these manufacturers are like, not very arrogant and, should I say that, they let us supervise closely. Otherwise, if you go to big manufacturers with big machinery, they will not even let you enter into their interior of the factory and see how they are manufactured. I'm not saying they're making a wrong product or bad product, but basically they don't like the supervision by the brand owner. So here I would say that the products are crafted with a lot of passion, a lot of care, a lot of love, and they let us supervise. So since they align with our goal,
Right.
and we can supervise the manufacturing. And also, like for example, on Diwali, we had lots of orders, bulk orders, and they were ready to work for us, in 2 shifts, these factories. So, passion is involved, heart and soul is involved in the product. So I would say it's not a challenge, rather it's a privilege to work with them.
Another, of course, the biggest challenge any manufacturer or any businessman faces is the sales, how to, market it. Now, with limited budgets, what you are working with, and limited kind of resources, how do you plan to take it to the next level? Because it is just the beginning for you. You launched it September end of 2021.
21, few months back, of course.
Just yeah. So it's just 6 months in line. So how do you plan to actually take it forward and you're making your brand a known brand among the buyers?
Atulji, for sure we have to create brand awareness because people should know that this kind of brand exists. So we need to get into marketing. But we are working on the strategies whereby our marketing cost should be very low so that we don't have to raise our MRPs. So since we cannot change the brand value of keeping the MRPs at affordable and value for money, so there are various ways we are working that in a way that we can market this brand and we can create a awareness. So and the next level, when you talk about the next level, we are trying to raise funds to go to next level because at the moment we have placed it online. For example, we are selling on our own website. Then we have launched it at Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, Yari, Hackmo, and some other platforms, e-commerce platforms. And we are raising funds. We're trying to raise funds. And after that, we'll go offline. We'll place it at retail stores. So that's a plan, but definitely we are not going for heavy marketing like celebrity endorsements or creating misleading advertisement and then placing it at prime time programs or such stuff, going for expensive outlets and expensive international look and feel. We are not going for all that. So that's what the plan is.
You just mentioned misleading advertising. Of course, a lot of things happen, we all know. But you, as of now, has got limited customers, right? Who have been buying online. So how has been your report so far?
Initially, Atulji, I was very, very nervous because though I was supervising the products very closely, but I did not know whether customers will accept the brand or not. But slowly and steadily now I'm very comfortable within 4, 5 or 6 months because anybody who bought our product in September when we launched has come back every month to refill the same product.
Right.
And after 2 months, after 2 usage, the person is buying more products. So we have not lost customers. So word of mouth and organic customers we are getting. So that gives me a lot of confidence on the products myself. I mean, I'm using it in my home. Like, for example, my parents earlier, they were skeptical to use, they say ghar ki murgi dal barabar. So they were not using my products.
Right.
So one of my friend came from USA and who was particular about brands and this, and somehow she happened to use our products which were lying in the bathroom and she loved it. So she said, I would like to take 3 years stock with me because I come every 3 years in India.
All right.
So we gave her stock of 1 year.
Mhm.
And looking at her, my parents felt that, okay, there's something about the products. So they use the products, and I'm happy that they're happy. Some no more ghar ka murgi dal barabar. So we have organic customers, we have
Right.
stable customers.
Right.
And I'm sure with more brand awareness and word of mouth, we'll be able to tap more customers. Rather, I would say we would like to add value into their lives by
Right.
saving their health, when it comes to skin and hair. And would like to save them from chemicals, harmful chemicals. And also we are working on biodegradable substances and recyclable packaging. So we would like to take care of the environment also.
Okay, absolutely. We do come across certain people or certain mindsets who thinks that expensive is better. हमने देखा है सोसाइटी में ऐसा होता है, लोग कहते हैं जी सस्ता है तो
Absolutely.
पता नहीं क्या बनाया होगा इन्होंने. So how
Right.
do you plan to fight or convince this kind of mindset?
First and foremost, I would like to make Indian consumer aware that high MRP does not mean that everything has gone into the product quality. High MRP has, there are a lot of expenses which are built to bring this MRP at that higher level. As I mentioned, that these brands have to pay huge sum of money to celebrities to endorse their brands. And if they're imported, then there's lots of foreign trips, meeting suppliers, custom, logistics, international packaging. This is very expensive. Then placing your ad into prime time programs is a huge sum of money they have to pay. And then if you have gone to outlets and you have seen salespeople into a particular uniform, and then these outlets, the rents of those outlets and the look and feel of those outlets, everything is expensive. So that actually goes from customers' pocket. And that's how these MRPs are very high MRPs. So yes, this mentality exists, but I'm sure that if we make customer aware that high MRP does not directly means is equal to good product. So I'm sure, with times they will change their perception and they'll understand that product with less or lower MRP can also be good products.
But then again, you are saying the same thing, Rakhee. To convince them, you again have to reach to them, and to reach them, you have to take marketing as your tool. So
Right.
celebrity management or celebrity endorsements or advertising on various channels, prime time channels. This is a part of the game these days. So
yes, it is.
You cannot avoid if you want to be a substantial brand in the market. So how do you intend to actually counter that?
As I said, first and foremost, we have taken a very conscious decision that we are not going to get into any kind of race when it comes to our growth, so that we don't sort of feel anxious about competing with other brands. Second, we are working on the marketing strategies, which are not very expensive. For example, social media marketing is not very expensive, so we are going for that. Then, I have been contacted by many magazines and newspapers to give interviews, which are not paid interviews and not paid advertisements. So they like the idea, they like the project, they would like to take the interview. So that is another whereby we are not, spending any money to create the brand awareness.
Right.
Then there are other methods, which definitely I'm not at the moment talking because they're kind of confidential at the moment, whereby we are actually working on very low cost marketing strategies. So that's how we are going about it. Two I already mentioned. For example, you did not charge a penny to me to take this interview. So it's free of charge.
So you will take your time and the quality will speak of itself. That's what.
Yes, because that's a goal, that's a vision. We would like to stick to it, rather be lambi race ka ghoda than just come market heavy and then vanish when you're not able to put up with your expenses.
Okay, another thing, very different aspect of it, cosmetics और श्रृंगार करना जो हमारे एंशिएंट उसमें है, ये it dates back to thousands of years.
Right.
It's not new. So
It's
how,
not.
yeah, so how come it is कि international brands आज भी हमारे ऊपर हावी हो गए हमारे कल्चर पे, rather than हमारे वो traditions कहीं ना कहीं खत्म होते नजर आ रहे हैं. तो how do you what do you say about it? मतलब जो एक जमाने में हम कहते थे कि अगर राजा महाराजा और उससे पहले के जमाने में भी वो रानियों का श्रृंगार होता था, तो that was a kind of cosmetics which was used. तो वो सब छोड़ते हुए आज हमारे पास इंटरनेशनल ब्रांड्स हैं and all was natural at that point in time. आज सिंथेटिक बहुत कुछ आ गए हैं. तो why this change? Why this change?
Atulji, according to my own personal analysis,
Yeah.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है that, for example, around 90s, economic reforms happened. Then that was a time when there was increase in number of working women suddenly. And now, obviously, they would like to use cosmetics for their daily routine to go to their workplace. They wanted to look good. And also, around that time, earlier it was not allowed to import cosmetics, but then government allowed to import cosmetics. So a lot of brand entered into the market, and they continue to do so till date. And with that heavy marketing, actually, Indian consumer got aware about the cosmetics and started perceiving it that maybe we learned cosmetics from these international or imported brands, but that's not the fact. Because earlier we never used to give such heavy marketing, never used to do heavy marketing about cosmetics. But when it comes to cosmetics, let me tell you that, as you rightly said, that it's part of our Indian ancient culture. Mm-hmm. Also, if you go through these samhitas like Atharvaved, Yajurved, Kama Sutra is one of the prominent one, then Bhavishya Puran, then let's say Atharvaved and Mahabharat, Ramayana, you will find reference of cosmetics.
Absolutely.
And a lot of cosmetics. And when it comes to quality and variety, that time was better than today's time. And they, in that time, all these people used to use very natural way of natural ingredients, for example, fruits, shrubs, nuts, and fragrant flowers, a lot of saffron, sandalwood, all these were used, and they were not running after quicker results, and they were using these natural ingredients as part of their daily life. I mean, if you go and read something about Draupadi, so you'll find that there were servants who used to carry their vanity box, and they call it, I think, petika,
Yeah.
And there are many paintings. Yes, and there are many paintings depicting that cosmetics were integral part of ancient India.
Absolutely.
And you'll be surprised to know that today, if I talk to men, they'll say, cosmetics? We don't use cosmetics. Mm-hmm. If you talk to women, either they'll say we don't use cosmetic, or they'll say cosmetics don't suit me. So let me tell you, they are talking about decorative cosmetics here, color cosmetics, makeup, kajal, lipstick, nail paint. But cosmetic is not, that's one category of cosmetic, but there's skin and hair care too, personal care too, toilet accessories, fragrances. Now, in earlier times, men were also using these cosmetics a lot.
Absolutely.
So today also we are using a lot of cosmetics. For example, all men are using shampoo, conditioner, beard oil, hair oil, soap, shaving cream. These are cosmetics. And in ancient time, there's a mention of kohal, that's kajal, which even men were using. Mm-hmm. Women, of course, were using.
Yeah.
And there's a mention of eye salve called anjan, they used to call it. And even men used to use that. So they used to take bath with fragrant water, and that water was made with fragrant flowers or
Right.
scented fruits,
Yeah.
and especially on the special occasions like marriages,
Right.
And if you go to Kama Sutra, there's a detailed information about toilet accessories, and that's a kind of I would say encyclopedia about toilet accessories, because it's Kama Sutra. So obviously they are trying to tell you how to smell good, look good. So they have mentioned a lot of fragrant smoke, fumigated clothes and hair. In fact, if you refer some movies which were made on these ancient times, they have shown actresses, fumigating their hair with fragrant smoke.
Yeah.
So that was part of Indian culture,
Right.
and they used to use a lot of ingredients, and there was a lot of beauty aids, variety, the kind of hair, the way they used to make their hair, all that. So so cosmetics is not new to India, and then Ayurvedic cosmetics, and India is a birthplace for that.
Absolutely.
I mean, we are using it from 5000 BC, and or Indus Valley civilization, I think, also had cosmetics.
Yeah.
So, but as I said, that when these brands entered into the market, so that was the time when, because of the heavy marketing and advertisements,
Right.
there was a lot of awareness about the cosmetics, and we actually perceived that we learned cosmetics from these brands, and that's not the fact. And that's how probably we started running after these brands, which are full of chemicals, and only chemicals can give you quicker results, faster results. And we got impatient with that, and we thought, okay, these brands or products full of chemicals, they know cosmetics more than India. So India knows more cosmetics, according to my knowledge and studies.
Great.
So does that answer your question, or I missed
Yes,
any part?
it perfectly answers that. Now coming back to your brand, Jstor, do you use your own brand?
As I said, of course, I use from the day one, and my parents also have started using.
Yeah.
And my friend circle was also very skeptical initially, and I didn't push them to use it. And neither I sent any samples. So out of them, 4 or 5 have actually come back and bought it. They didn't tell me. They bought it. So one of my neighbor even said that I bought it, but I didn't tell you because agar mujhe acha nahi laga, so relationship kharab honge. But then now very often she asks me when you're coming out with new products, and she even told me that she could use it on her 10 years old daughter, and it worked. Though we did not recommend it for children, we recommended it for people above 14 years. But she said she could very safely use it. I mean, this family suffered from corona and was suffering with a few problems of hair and skin. So she said it worked. So there are many things which for me also is a kind of, consumers only tell you many things about your brand and products. I know to a certain limit, but their usage, for example, multiple kind of usage, they tell me, okay, this product we used this way. And, for example, a bald man called me, sent me a mail saying that, ma'am, ये शैम्पू मेरी वाइफ ने खरीदा था आपका, एंड देन मैं तो बॉल्ड हूँ, ऐसे ही शौकिया तौर पे लगा लिया, or after using it for 1.5 months, and he said that he could get rid of his scaly skin. I mean, like we have dandruff, maybe bald people have this scaly skin, so they feel troubled, and they said that they don't feel very confident with that skin. So he said, this I didn't know about my shampoo, to be very honest.
All right. Another thing which I understand about your product is they're unisex.
They are unisex. They're genderless, most of them.
How do you do that? Because what we understand as a layman, that skin of a woman and a man, they are different. They need different ingredients. So how do you manage that?
Atalji, it's a myth when you say that you need cosmetics different from man and woman. The only difference is that man's skin is considered a little thicker than the women. But when it comes to cosmetics, it's all about penetration, absorption. And if a cosmetic or a cream is able to penetrate into your skin and it works on your skin, then how does it matter you're a man or a woman? So you can use unisex and genderless cosmetics. All the brands who are launching unisex cosmetics, I'm sure they work on their formulas in a way that they're able to penetrate all kinds of skins. So, but yes, there are few products which are gender specific, like shaving cream and beard oil. So those are the only products I think which needs to be gender specific. Otherwise, cosmetics can be used quite as a unisex. So when it comes to our brand, for example, cosmetics are not only unisex and handmade, as I said, they are not tested on animals. And they are made with Indian ingredients, skin-friendly ingredients. There are no harmful chemicals in it, and biodegradable substances. And we are working on recyclable packaging. And either they are made with Ayurveda, and we have taken the formulation from these Granths and Samhita I have mentioned. And my manufacturer is very, very talented when it comes to Ayurvedic cosmetics. It's cosmetics, and it's in the interior of India, one of the kind of rural area where he makes it. And then we have a range whereby it's made of herbs extracts. These are either organic or natural or herbal or Ayurvedic. So they're fully safe to use. And we are also trying to promote and protect, as I said, craftsmanship and skill of labor because of handmade cosmetics.
All right. So basically, I can safely say there's a Rakhee is on a mission. And,
yes. Atulji, can I show you one or two packaging of the products?
Sure,
I wanted to also mention that we are trying to keep packaging very Indian. For example, this is body lotion.
Right.
This is shampoo. We are not spending a lot on packaging.
Packaging. So you are trying to cut
but still, I
costs
feel
wherever
that
possible.
it's decent. Yeah, it's decent. It's Indian, and this is Ayurvedic packaging. This is herbal range.
Okay.
So we have around 23 products at the moment in the market, and we are coming out with the Indian ether, people call it.
Okay.
Yeah, with the scented flowers like mogra, jasmine, bela, Raat Ki Rani, Rajnigandha. I mean, people have almost forgotten all that.
They are in market now, right?
No, they are about to come. We are almost ready with it. We are working on its packaging, and packaging is something like quite Indian. We are trying to keep.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So you must have heard about these flowers in the old Indian songs, So people have almost forgotten. So
actually,
we are trying to.
I am of the age just like itra use bhi kiya hai.
We'll give you a chance to use it again.
In fact, youngsters won't know ki itra kya hota hai, and they must have.
Yes,
they are more.
I think they don't even know. I was talking to a few youngsters who are using my brand, and I even asked them to make a little video so that I would like to show it to people.
Using
so
it is also
they said Raat Ki Rani kya hota hai? Rajnigandha. They definitely heard about rose, for example, or one or two other flowers, but they were not knowing mogra, bela, Raat Ki Rani. So it's part of our culture. I mean, we shouldn't forget it.
And using itra is also an art. How to use it? It's not like a perfume. Aapne spray kiya aur chale gaye. So
chale gaye, right.
So, that's what.
We'll put that on labels. For example, our labels are very clear labels. If you read our labels, you will know what the product is all about, how you can use it, and who are the people who can use it. And also directions and usage is very, very clear. We have kept the language very layman language so that anybody can read it and understand it. Also, there are brands and there are products which are using jargons for a simple product. For example, there's a simple product called toner. So they would call it something else, and instead of charging, for example, 300 rupees, they will charge 900 rupees or 1300 rupees. Okay. So we are calling the product as we used to call it, in ancient times. So toner is a toner. So we are not charging any money by using the jargons or twisting the name of the products. The products' names are very clear. So they will tell you what it is, how you can use it, all that.
Right, Rakhee. Thank you very much for your time. And we wish you all the very best.
I need it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Antarji. Thank you.